What's the best email marketing software? I get this question over and over and over, especially from people who should not be asking this question. So I'm going to answer it once and for all today. When we started off, we had a very simple email list. Basically, people would sign up. I would send them broadcast emails, meaning I would write them and click send, and that was it. I did that until probably 50,000 subscribers. After 50,000, I started to add a little bit of automation. So when you would sign up, you would get an autoresponder that basically would say, welcome to my list, here's what you can find, talk to you tomorrow. And there might be 3 or 4 pre-written emails in that list. That's called an autoresponder. Over time, we actually built our email marketing systems to be much more sophisticated. So now we can tell where you're coming from, what you're interested in. We can tell what you're wearing right now. I'm just kidding, we can't tell that. I wish. But we can tell a lot of stuff, and our systems are dynamic. I'll tell you the exact companies that I would use, but I just want to emphasize something. We have this principle in Zero to Launch, which we call, don't try to be 40 before you're 40. And this refers back to when I was a 21-year-old kid thinking about what car to buy. You know, I was like, should I buy a Mercedes? And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Who's going to drive a Mercedes at age 21? And also, where do you go from there? Why am I buying this car? I don't need it. It's stupid. So I hear a lot of people saying, Ramit, you use Infusionsoft or Responses. Shouldn't I use it? And that's not the right way to think about it. There's a time and a place to use a system at the beginning. And as your needs get more sophisticated, then you can upgrade your system. Okay, so if it were me starting off today, I would start off with MailChimp or Aweber. Both of them are great. They're really simple to use. You type in, your content and click send and it goes. They also have great automation systems, so you can set up autoresponders, and even to some extent, you can make it a little bit dynamic. That's cool. Honestly, I would stick with them for as long as possible. I remember when I was in 4th grade, Mr. Binning, he taught us our sex ed class, and he said, listen guys, try to avoid shaving for as long as possible, because once you start, you can never stop. And that is the exact same thing you should be thinking about with your automation systems. Once you switch over to a really expensive, full-featured solution, you can't go back. So stay on the simple system for as long as you can. I would recommend staying on Aweber or MailChimp until you have 50 or 100,000 subscribers. After that, one day you're going to wake up and say, hey, I really need to add some more automation. I'm reaching the limits. I'm losing sales because I can't do XYZ feature. At that point, you can look at a little bit more sophisticated solution. The next level would be something like Infusionsoft or Ontraport, and those are very sophisticated. We have people who full-time work on our Infusionsoft implementation. So it can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. So keep that in mind. There's a cost to going up in complexity. But of course, we can do a lot more sophisticated things. I would recommend sticking with them, between 100,000 to about 1 million, you're going to be great with any of those systems. And then beyond that, you're really talking about the big boys. You're talking about GetResponse, Responses, etc. And that's when you really have multiple engineers focused specifically on that ESP or email service provider. So with all that stuff I just told you, basic message, start simple, stick with it for as long as possible. If I were starting out today, I would use Aweber or MailChimp, and I would milk that for as long as I could. Hope this helps.